Hillary called it. Somalia's Islamist militant group, al-Shabab, has used a clip of Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump in its latest recruitment film. The jihadist video was about racial injustice in the United States, and it features Trump's recent call to ban all Muslims from the country. Let's check out a clip.
Yesterday, America was a land of slavery, segregation, lynching, and Ku Klux Klan. And tomorrow, it will be a land of religious discrimination and concentration camps.
All right, he says what he has to say, and then that goes directly to a clip of Donald Trump. We all know, but if you don't, check out this second part.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what is going on.
So, Jose, that clip was released over the weekend, actually on Friday over Twitter, as that's how they actually release all their videos over Twitter, al-Shabab. Now, the guy speaking before Donald Trump, his name is Anwar al-Awlaki. Now, I think this is very important to mention. He was killed a very long time ago, back in 2011. Okay, he's an American. He was killed in a drone strike in Yemen. But, you know, they spliced together his words together with this Donald Trump clip. And for anyone who doesn't know, al-Shabab, you know, is based in Somalia. They're seeking to overthrow the Western U.S.-backed government over there. They've had, you know, different attacks in Kenya and Ethiopia, throughout a lot of East Africa. So, you know, they are also an al-Qaeda affiliate. That's also worth mentioning. So, you know, I said in the beginning there, Hillary's right, because, you know, you remember during one of the debates, Hillary had said, you know, what a lot of people have also said, you know, Donald Trump is the biggest recruiter of ISIS. He's their #1 recruiter. So that's why I kind of mentioned her in the beginning there. But what do you think? Do you think, you know, they did that because of, you know, what Donald Trump is saying, or do you think, you know, they really think that they can get people on their side by using Donald Trump's words like that?
I think this was bound to happen, Nick. This is something that it was a matter of time before these very intelligent, very astute jihadists are willing to do to make their point. And if you see the first part of it, I don't think that many that know the history of this country will disagree that the message is factual. Mm-hmm. Those are things that have happened in this country. But if you pair them up with the current, what we're supposed to be changing in this country, when we have the front-running Republican presidential candidate saying these things, obviously, in combination with that message, it's very clear that he's leading the country in a direction where if you're Muslim, you might want to think twice that you might be better off joining one of these groups than trying to support or align with what Donald Trump is trying to push in this country. I think it's dangerous, I think it's divisive, but I also think it's really, really intelligent from Donald Trump, because I'm pretty sure he knew that this could happen. And this just cements him, solidifies him in the mind of his supporters as the leader. Once you've been signaled as the main spokesperson for the other side, immediately you are, by your own people, regarded by as the hero that is standing against the same people that is using him to decry what is going on in the Western world. I think that it's something that we'll continue to see during the campaign, but I'm pretty sure that this will not be the case once he drops out of the race and he's not successful becoming president.
You know what? What I find most interesting here is Donald Trump's response, which, you know, he took to Twitter to kind of say, no, wait a minute, you know. Of course he did, and we have one of the tweets, and I want to read it to you guys, because for me that's perhaps the funniest part. Let's go full screen on this. This is what he says. Al-Shabab, not ISIS, just made a video on me. They all will as frontrunner, and if I speak out against them, which I must, Hillary lied. So he's basically saying, like, see, Hillary's a liar. It's not ISIS that's making these videos, it's al-Shabab. Liars. Come on, dude. Either way you look at it, you know, of course you're going to be targeted, right? Not only by extremists, but, you know, I think the majority of the world, to be honest. But, you know, at the same time, though, you know, what you said, though, the guy in this video, Mr. Awlaki, now, he did say some things that, you know, are true, right? We can't deny certain, you know, racist past that we have in this country. But at the same time, who the hell is a leader of a jihadist group that, you know, does terrorist attacks in numerous different countries, kills innocent people indiscriminately, will go to a university and mow people down? Who is he to kind of, being affiliated with a group like that, who the hell is he to come out and, like, say, you know, that country is not right. They are racist and they're mean. You should join us. Like, does that make any sense to you?
No, not at all. And I agree with you. I think that is we are not defending the terrorists in spite of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I think we just need to bucket them in different as bad buckets.
Yeah.
But like you say, we have to remember that terrorism is a serious issue and it's a threat for all of us in this world. And different thing is to bundle up all Muslims and say, you guys are the culprits, because that's not the only thing. Another thing that is also important in the race is the fact that the more these candidates that belong to the 1%, most of them in the case of the Republicans and some Democrats, for them is really, really good for the public opinion to be focused on ISIS, on terrorism, on external threats, while in the country, the income inequality is the biggest that it's ever been in the last 100 years, and for them is really good because they're rich. So as long as people is focused on terrorism instead of how much money they have versus the money that we have as Americans, for me, that is the big issue and the big elephant in the room, that they keep pushing the idea of fear of ISIS instead of fear of the current situation of the United States.
Yeah, there's much more important things at hand, right? Do you think Donald Trump will win?
Not at all.
I mean, for the Republican candidacy.
That could be the case. That could be the case. I'm pretty sure that we've talked about it before. The Republican Party, as one, is doing everything they can to prevent this from happening. They're already doing the backdoor route to see if in the convention they can trump. But if that's the case, I think he's going to have a hard time either against Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. Even against O'Malley, he will have a hard time, really.
I think so. Well, anyone who can, speak clearly and articulately. Well, look, I think right now, we see him leading by so much because there's so many players on the field, right? What is it, 11, 12 of them over there? So it's like, as that starts to close and we see less and less, I think so is that gap, right? If there's maybe 3 or 4 of them left, I think we're really going to see that gap close, and I don't even see him winning the Republican side at all.
I think everything is going to kind of boil down to the first 3 state primaries.
Yeah.
And once we start seeing some winners in those primaries, we're going to see a lot of them dropping out of the race because it's going to be evident who has a chance to win and who don't. And that's really the real fire test for Donald Trump is those first 3 primaries.
I agree. Well, back to the point, Donald Trump has been used in a extremist propaganda video, but let's be honest, we all kind of saw that coming.